he gets into the 95 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away we go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now, as we've got 3 wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Spark Truck Series here at the Spark Racing League. Last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway, we saw Rye Jones pick up his first win of the season, but heading into round 3, Evan Pienta holds on to the points lead. Welcome back, fans, friends, and family. Round 3 of the season here at Iowa Speedway. As always, I'm your host, James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second, as it looks like we're ready to set the stage once more. A healthy grid, 24 drivers coming out tonight, and looking forward to another fantastic show. Starting on pole, their current points leader, Evan Pienta. Johnny Rapp starting second. Rye Jones starting third. Chase Berry starting fourth. Devin Jack starts fifth. Jacob Bradley starting sixth. Ray Beebe starting seventh. Chris Smith starting eighth. Richard Holland starts ninth. Robert Brope starting 10th. Brian Brope starts 11th. Patrick Hardgrove will be starting 12th here tonight. Cycled on back. Kenny Troughton starting 13th. Tony Caputo starting 14th. Jeremy Rigney starting 15th. Corey Moore starting 16th. Clifton Simmons starting 17th. Robert Amaral starting 18th. We've got Nathan Gentry starting 19th. J.J. McCoy starting 20th. Peter Stewart starting 21st. Mark Fish starts 22nd. Nick Seraph starting 23rd. Chad Waller starting 24th. And that will round out the grid here tonight, as it looks like we're ready to roll them out behind the iRacing safety car. As always, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on. Drivers will frequently have the broadcast pulled up on a separate monitor or device, and if they don't, they go back, watch the show again, and they can definitely see and appreciate who's all out here cheering for them. Looks like Chad Waller in the 66 is not going to start with the rest of the field here. Hopefully he can get that Ford F-150 fired back up and join the race. Do one more lap here at Iowa. We have the Rapp and Pienta trying to get a little bit of heat in those tires on the front row. Now 125 laps, a little bit shorter track than we've seen in the opening 2 rounds. Going to be very interesting to see how drivers can tangle with the banking at Iowa. Now keep an eye out. If this thing goes green, we're going to have a lot of different tire strategies coming into play out on track. Drivers have 2 sets of tires behind pit wall, and they've got 70% fuel allotment. We've got Steve Bradley joining us, cheering on Jacob Bradley. We've also got Jakey Wakey joining us in the spectator area as well. Jacob Bradley's going to be starting 6th here. As we get ready for that iRacing safety car to come down pit road, it's going to be on Pienta and Rapp to set the stage. And we are green flag racing round 3 of the Spark Truck Series here at Iowa. Looks like Pienta and Rapp still going to be side by side as the field tries to get into a little bit of a groove here. Pienta holding on to it just barely, as Rapp working the high side in that number 55 machine, excuse me, the 52 machine of Rapp. The 55 of Pienta. Still side by side they go. Neither driver trying to yield now. I got a report of an off track. Looked like Nathan Gentry was involved in something. but not seeing a caution come out. Gentry still pointing the right direction at least. Let's see what happened if we can get a replay queued up. Let's see what happened to Gentry. All sorts of loose there. The Busch Light back number 4. Gliding around. Thankfully, he was able to hold on to it. Robert Amaral also had an off track, but still no caution. And man, look at Rapp and Pienza beating on each other's doors here. Rapp showing as the race leader, clicks off a 23.19, the fastest lap of the race, but Pienza ripping the low line, not gonna let him off easy. Now Jacob Bradley in third, that number 50 machine has moved up 3 spots early on. Bradley might be hoping that those top 2 drivers wear out their tires because Rapp and Pienza are going at it. Looks like Rapp is going to take over the race lead here. Pienza tucks in behind. Let's go a little bit further back in the field. A very heated battle for 8th. You've got 7th, Chris Smith, Richard Holland, Ray Beebe. Hinting at some 3 wide action, not too far back from them. That's Patrick Hardgrove with Robert Brose, Tony Caputo side by side. You've got Brian Brobes, Kenny Trouton side by side. So Iowa could lend itself to some really good racing here. Now you can already see drivers kind of fighting that rear end of the truck to prevent it from stepping out. Ryan Jones looks like he missed the mark there, pushes up way against the wall, tags the wall for Rye Jones right before the start-finish line. Now he's got Devin Jack in that 49 Ford F-150 and so Jack side by side with, it's going to be Richard Holland making the pass up high in the 31. And there goes Ray Beebe as well in the 89. Here comes the 28 of Chris Smith. Just inside the top 10. Getting a little bit busy out on track. Looks like we have a 3-truck battle for 4th. Rye Jones, Chase Berry, Richard Holland. Now 4th place back. They're about 9/10 back from the top 3 drivers. We've got Lee Rigney joining us, cheering on Jeremy Rigney. Jeremy in that number 10 Toyota Tundra, currently 15th out on track, exactly as he qualified. We also got the report that Chad Waller is going to join the race, finally taking a tow to pit road. And here's the vortex of danger as are we going to get some 3 wide action here at Iowa? Chase Berry, Patrick Hardgrove, Tony Caputo. Oh, a big blink there from, I think that was Berry. On board with Robert Brobes, the Popeyes back to number 5 Chevrolet. Showing you just how tight the action is ahead of them as they are about 2 wide and 3 rows deep here. Right behind Brobes. You can see the number 11 of Brian Brobes. Corey Moore, Clifton Simmons here in the fray. Corey Moore getting some love from the fans as he's piloting that number 2 Toyota Tundra. Moore qualified 16th, currently 16th out on track. Hard Charger out on the asphalt. Looks like it's going to be 2 different drivers. Patrick Hardgrove in the number 74 Ford. And Tony Caputo in the number 14 Chevrolet. Both up 5 positions each here. Lap times clicking off pretty steady. Already though, we're seeing the lap times drop by about 6 to 7 tenths slower than they were the opening 5 laps. So things are starting to plateau a little bit as the tire wear comes in. I don't think anybody's told the drivers back here in 10th that this could be a tire management race. These guys have been going at it the entire opening 15 laps. Now 125 laps on the docket here today. Should take about 50 minutes, including pit stops. That does not account for any possible cautions we'll see. I think not having a fast repair option really encourages these drivers to run clean and give each other a little bit of space when it's needed. Now that fast repair for the new fans joining us today. A fast repair, if you find yourself in an incident, you can go back to pit road, hit the magic button, and return out on track with a clean race truck. That option unavailable to these drivers. Looks like Johnny Rapp leading the field, about to catch traffic with Robert Amaral's 99 machine. Amaral involved in one of those opening incidents early on in this race. And you can definitely tell Rapp has backed out of it. Evan Pienza and Jacob Bradley, second and third, have caught right up. Looks like Rye Jones and Richard Holland starting to close that gap to the race leader as well. Oh, he hinted 3 wide for the lead. Bradley putting his nose up the inside of Evan Pienza's number 55 machine. That 50 of Bradley looking for an opening. That's going to give Rapp a little bit of reprieve. Devin Jack, the number 49 Ford, getting some love from Megan Ernst, joining us to the spectator side of the broadcast. Rapp still has not been able to clear traffic here, but speaking of Devin Jack, right here in the meat grinder, and at 49, he is up top alongside Tony Caputo. You've also got Chris Smith and Brian Brobst in the fray. Ooh, this is going to get real tight. This smaller track of Iowa, just fast enough, though, to get yourself a little bit of trouble. Top speeds by drivers hitting around that mid 160 mile an hour mark. As we watch Smith and Brian Brobst side by side, just ahead of them. Well, we just saw something. Patrick Hargrove got shoveled out of the way, and then it looks like Evan Pienza is going to try and take back over the race lead from Johnny Rapp. Jacob Bradley watches from behind in the number 50. Fourth and fifth, Rye Jones and Richard Holland have been closing the gap as well as Rapp takes the high line to retake the race lead. Jacob Bradley is going to follow Rapp, climbing up into second, but there goes Pienza trying to work the inside line. Right now, it looks like the high side carrying a little bit more speed as Rapp and Bradley push Pienza back to third. And here's what we're talking about. There's Rye Jones, the number 7. He has joined the top 3. He was over a half second back just 5 laps prior. And now finds himself right back in the mix. And we do have a crash report with Jeremy Rigney's number 10 machine. But amazingly, no caution here. Let's see what happened to Rigney. Can't tell if Rigney came down or if, I think that was Robert Brobst, yes it was, number 5, came up. But I bet Rigney's going to be a little bit displeased with the race officials and the lack of caution on that one. Johnny Rapp, your race leader, has well and clear Jacob Bradley. Bradley, though, still battling fiercely with Evan Pienza. You've got lap traffic hopping down the apron here, getting out of the way of the race leaders. So there's your top 5 all in one picture. If we go back to 9th, another big pack. This is Patrick Hargrove in the number 74 machine with Brian Brobst, Tony Caputo, Chris Smith, Chase Berry, Robert Brobst all in tow. Now, we're not sure what the tire and fuel runs are going to be here tonight at Iowa with these 70 to 70% fuel allotments. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from Rye Jones. He's exploring some different lines on number 7 as he tries to set up a pass on Pienza here at the inside. There's the 31 of Richard Holland, so the entire top 5 separated by less than a second here. Dale Pienza and Jones going at it here for third. Richard Holland wants to interject as well. And it looks like Bradley putting the pressure on Rapp's 52 machine for the race lead. Now these top 5 have built up about 1.3 seconds over Ray Beebe and 6th. And then Beebe has a comfortable margin over Jack, holding on to the 7th place spot. Things are getting really tight. Pienza keeping the pressure on Bradley. Bradley keeping the pressure on Rapp. This is a great race up inside the top 5. Now, while this is going on, these top 5 drivers aren't really losing any time to the field behind them. It's definitely not the draft helping them forward as they are elbows out as we watch Bradley make a lunge for the race lead here against Rapp. Some of the best racing I think we've seen here at the Spark Truck Series, 33 laps, and the top 5 has been going at it, but now Bradley in that 50 machine gonna try and get a lap led as it looks like Rapp takes a shove from Pienza. Can't tell if Rapp got a little bit loose there and Pienza wasn't able to check up in time. But I can guarantee you these guys are having a great time up here in the top 5. Now Richard Holland, who's up 4 spots. I wonder if he's doing any tire saving here and just kind of letting these guys burn things up ahead of him. Holland tucked in right behind. Let's see if we can get it on board with that number 31 machine. Pienza has quite the interesting rear bumper there. We're following along the Evan Pienza Designs back 55 machine. Something has happened though while that was going on. Johnny Rapp has fallen back to 5th in the number 52. And it looks like he's losing that top pack as well. Ray Beebe sitting in 6th, slowly crawling his way towards the front. Rye Jones is going to take his turn to challenge the lead here against Bradley. But we are 2 wide and 2 deep here in Iowa. It's Bradley and Jones up front. Pienza and Holland find themselves battling for 3rd. Now this is a tough spot for the drivers to be in. You can't throw it in too deep, especially as the tire wear becomes a factor. And I'm starting to see the rest of the field. You've got 6th place and 7th place, Beebe and Jack, very slowly gaining ground on this top 5. I wonder as well, did Johnny Rapp at 52 use up too much tire? As he's about 6/10 off the lead pack. He's got Ray Beebe and Devin Jack starting to catch up, because the top 4 drivers were about a tenth and a half faster last lap by. Jacob Bradley putting a little bit of a distance on Jones, Pienta, and Holland, second, third, and fourth. Rapson in fifth, hoping these top drivers battle it out, slow the pace up a little bit. Richard Holland trying to get something going as it looks like Rye Jones, 40 laps in, is going to be the first driver down pit road for a green flag stop. Doesn't look like anybody's going to follow that number 7 as well here. So Jones thinks he might have something figured out on strategy. Now, fuel window is open for drivers that want to make this a 2-stop race. Keep an eye out to see when that number 7 gets back out on track. Out of his pit stall in 14.93 seconds. He'll be coming out, I think, a full lap down. We'll keep an eye out on that. There's Jacob Bradley still rocking and rolling, your race leader, 0.3 of a second up from Evan Pienta. Patrick Hartgrove, the 74 Ford F-150. He's going to come down pit road. As a racer and broadcaster, I'm a huge fan when we can get some long green flag runs and see some different strategies develop. Let's go back to fourth. Johnny Rapp has company with Devin Jack and Ray Beebe linked up here. Rapp has been slowly falling back over the run, but maybe realizing he needs to keep the tire management underneath him as the field approaches a little bit of traffic there, bobbing and weaving. I think that was the number... That wasn't Jones. That was Nathan Gentry, the number 4 Gentry, another driver who had problems early on here, unfortunately. Jack looking for an opening against Rapp here. Not able to find it as it looks like Ray Beebe's going to try. Now Jacob Bradley, your race leader, he just came down pit road. Like Mark Fish, the number 13 Ford F-150, also down pit road, so that's going to put Pienta as your race leader, but Richard Holland wants a lap lead here. Pienta's going to come down pit road. Holland stays out. Caputo's down pit road as Corey Moore and Mark Fish getting ready to roll out on track. Richard Holland down pit road, so Devin Jack will get credit for a lap lead here at the number 49 Ford F-150. Looks like the top 6 drivers yet to pit. Gonna try and run those fuel tanks out empty, I suppose. Jack enjoying the limelight here. One of 2 Canadians out on track. Jack currently about 9/10 up over Rapp. And Rapp has Ray B tucked in right behind that number 89 machine. Now this is Jack's second entry in the season. Currently sitting 21st in points. Last week at Atlanta, he was able to start in 5th, finish in 6th. Now the top 12 drivers are still out on their original tanks of fuel, and most importantly, their original tires. Jack, Robert Brooks, Peter Stewart, all down pit road. So Johnny Rapp back as the race leader, stretching that fuel run out as long as he can. He's got Ray B behind him. And let's see who that is unlapping themselves. Looks like maybe Patrick Hardgrove. Or is that, I think that was Tony Caputo getting a lap back here. And here comes number 13 machine of Mark Fish coming out with fresh tires. Now these drivers with fresh tires are going to be able to blitz around the field. Another crash reported though. This time it's Clifton Simmons. Looks like Simmons is going to be able to get on to pit road safely. Let's see. Oh, just loses the back end and around he goes in the 38. Thankfully off track, so the caution did not come out. Still 7 drivers out on track with their original tires. Johnny Rapp trying to fend off Ray B, but how much longer can these guys go for on these tires? Last time by, Rapp a 24.71. 1.6 seconds off his fastest lap of the race. JJ McCoy comes down pit road in the 22. Team doing a great job staying right there with Rapp. This is a pretty exciting moment. As there goes Jacob Bradley getting back on the lead lap for the number 50 machine. Once the pit cycles, if we can finish our pit cycles under green, I think it's going to be Ry Jones as the race leader. Kenny Trout was involved in an incident. Let's see what happened to the number 25. Because apparently we're just not throwing cautions tonight. Like Trout was getting set up for pit road. Like, might have missed it a little bit there. Trying to see when that incident was going to come out. Now Johnny Rapp comes down pit road. Ray B, Brian Brooks, Chase Berry are top 3. Staying out as well as Nick Serif. Jeremy Rigney down pit road for his first stop. There's Ray B down pit road. Let's see, does Brian Brooks follow number 11? I can't imagine anybody's going to be able to make this a one-stop race. Maybe Brian Brooks, that number 11 machine, is going to try something here. Now you've got B, Barry, Serif all down pit road. Brian Brooks is going to be the only driver who has yet to come down. What a gamble this may be for Brian Brooks. It looks like he's signaling to come down pit road. I just heard somebody sliding around. I didn't quite see it. And the broadcast software didn't pick up any incidents. There comes Brian Brooks. He's going to come down pit road. So I believe that's going to put Jacob Bradley as your race leader, who's a half second up over Ry Jones. I wonder if Brian Brooks was maybe hoping for a caution there. Evan Pienta, Richard Holland side by side for what is currently the battle for 4th, and we are going to have a caution. The caution comes out. Jeremy Rigney involved in an incident. What happened to Rigney here? Rigney, the number 10 machine, gets involved with the number 74 of Patrick Hardgrove. And that is going to throw a wrench in the plans here at Iowa. Brian Brooks was just a half lap away from making something miraculous happen. Now, are we going to see anybody come down pit road and top off on fuel? Brian Brooks went 59 laps on a tank of fuel. That would still put everybody about 5 laps short if they came down under caution for a little bit extra. So it looks like Tony Caputo, Mark Fish come down pit road under caution, our first caution of the night. Looks like just taking fuel here, if I had to imagine. Caputo in a stall for a long time, 18 seconds and counting. Maybe the number 14 machine has some damage on it. Your front row is going to be Jacob Bradley and Rye Jones. Pienta and Holland, your second row. Jack and Smith, your third row. Now Brian Brobst and Chase Berry have come down pit road. Robert Amaral pitting as well. This could be close. It would be so extremely close to make it on fuel. Brian Brobst did the best job fuel saving that number 11 machine the opening half of the race. There is a chance, a small chance, that somebody can make it till the end after this caution. But you would have the fuel save most of the run, and if another caution comes out, you've kind of thrown away everything at that point. Here we go, the first restart of the night, 60 laps left to go. Let's see what Bradley and Jones can do on the front row. Moore letting us know that he had to serve a pit road penalty. And unfortunately out of tires in that number 2 machine. We're doing a little bit of texting while driving here, but let's see what he can do with 60 laps left to go and no more tires left behind the wall. The green flag is out. Bradley with a good launch. And the number 50, Pienta in second, but side by side as Rye Jones presses the issue. There's Richard Holland, Devin Jack side by side for fourth. Chris Smith has Robert Brobst hot behind him. This is going to be good, especially if the opening half of the race was any sign of what's to come. And Jones going at it here, but Richard Holland wants a piece in the 31. Devin Jack has a freight train behind him as well as he sits in fifth in the 49. They'll have 22 drivers out on track out of the 24 that entered here. As we're going to go side by side. We're hinting at side by side for the lead, but Richard Holland fights back in the 31, pressuring Rye Jones for second. Looks like Pienta and Jack have backed out of it ever so slightly, watching Jones and Holland lean on each other here. Jack has Johnny Rapp pressuring for fifth. Looks like Rapp's going to make it happen in that 52. Rapp was very fast in the opening 20 laps, but it looked like he used up too much tire too early. Rapp working the inside line against Pienta. This is the same aggressiveness we saw out of that 52 machine in the opening stint here as Rapp moves up into third. Let's see, Rye Jones trying to carry a little bit more speed on the high side. I want to say that mid to high line using up a little bit less tire for these drivers as well. It definitely seems faster in the mid to late run. As here comes Richard Holland. He's going to try the low line against Jacob Bradley for the race lead. Once again, too wide and too deep as I think, yeah, Johnny Rapp's going to get clear there in the 52 in front of Rye Jones. And let's go back to 6th place Devin Jack. Look at this. Jack side by side with McCoy. Smith and Beebe side by side behind him, and Robert Brooks and Brian Brooks right side by side. Ashton Cosner joined us, unfortunately, for the spectator area. Normally we see Cosner out on track. Not able to make it here tonight, but hopefully next week we'll see Cosner. As it has been a fantastic race here at Iowa. Everywhere we look, there is non-stop action. There's Chris Smith, Brian Brooks side by side for 8th. Brian Brooks kind of the dark horse as far as pit strategy. I would say he has probably the best chance of making it to the end without having to fuel back up. Richard Holland has pressure. Look at Johnny Rapp go. Rapp making a move on Holland. Holland's going to gain some more ground here through the tri-oval. But Rapp has been making that line work well. And he was almost on the back bumper of Jacob Bradley, the race leader. So it looks like Rapp tries to make the pass. Through 1 and 2, can't drift high. Doesn't want to slide in front. There he goes, slide job up in front of Holland. Rapp taking over the 2nd place spot. Bradley still up front. Let's go back to that wild pack, 4th place back. Jones leading this pack with Brian Brooks, Evan Pienta, McCoy, Beebe, Smith, Jack, Robert Brooks, all here together. Well, Pienta threw a block and somebody wasn't happy about it. And Pienta, I think, just dumped somebody. Oh, here we go. I'm going to try and find the right angle here, because that was several incidents happening at once. Yeah, that's right in time. Let's see, does Pienta get loose here, I wonder? Pienta's a little bit loose. He drops down in front of Beebe. They get together. Oh, there was some action there. I want to see one more angle here. Watch the steering wheel, the orange line. This is where Beebe's all out of shape. I don't think Pienta turned into him there, but definitely didn't do anything to prevent that moment. The fireworks are out here at Iowa. Rapp opts to stay out here, as well as Brian Brobst, the number 11. But now we're fairly certain, positive at this point. If you take fuel, you're good to go to make it till the end with at least 4 or 5 laps to spare, especially if you're Brian Brobst. I wish we could get the driver radio queued up on the broadcast for that one. Second caution of the night. Rapp and Brian Brobst are going to be on the front row. JJ McCoy, Devin Jack, your second row. Jacob Bradley, Richard Holland will make up the third row. About 43 laps left to go in this main event, and it's been some of the best racing of the season. Here we go, grid up behind the iRacing safety car. It'll be coming down pit road this time by. Now, Rapp and Brobst, the only 2 drivers that have stayed out. But it looks like that second row with Jack and McCoy might have only taken fuel, if not maybe 2 right side tires. And here we go, the second restart of the night. Brian Brobst with a good launch there. Side by side with Rapp. Brobst working the inside line. These two want to get things going because there might be some drivers with fresh tires behind them. Maybe the likes of Jacob Bradley, that number 50, who looks like he's on 4 fresh tires, slicing through the field here side by side with Devin Jack for third. Looks like Richard Holland also might have fresh tires underneath them. Evan Pienza with an off-track excursion. Looks like we're going to stay caution-free here. They're trying to bring out a caution. Bradley working hard in that number 50 machine with those fresh tires underneath them, side by side with Brobst for second. Rapp still out front, but does anybody have anything for Jacob Bradley? I think the closest driver maybe on the same tire strategy is going to be Rye Jones in fourth in the number 7 machine. But what Bradley's going to try and do here is quickly get through the field, hope that Jones gets tied up a little bit with Rapp and Brobes. And Jacob Bradley's going to put the hammer down here. Trying getting some ground. Rye Jones doing what he can to get through as well, using his fresh tires. Bradley is going here, but Jones has been able to cut through. Chris Smith also coming through the field in that number 28 machine. This is where things can get a little bit dicey for the competitors. You got a bunch of drivers on different tire strategies. Some drivers will be pushing that front end. Some guys are going to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more free to help rotate the truck. As Chris Smith has caught up to the tail of Rye Jones. Looks like everybody inside the top 5, no, the top 4, all came down pit road on lap 78 and took 4 fresh tires. Johnny Rapp, number 52. is going to hope for a late race caution, and he'll still have a set of tires behind the wall. Holland and Smith side by side. Holland up top, Smith down low. Jones still sitting in second as Bradley leads this thing with a half-second advantage over the rest of the field. "35 laps left to go here at Iowa." There's Jones, Holland, and Smith, a 3-truck battle for second. A little bit further back, there's Johnny Rapp with Robert Brobes, Brian Brobes, and Tony Caputo right behind. Oh, somebody's blinking bad. That's going to be Caputo's number 14 machine, making it tough for Brian Brobes to know where to go. And the battle for second continues as Richard Holland gets a little bit snapped loose out of 4. That's going to give Jones a little bit of a break, but here comes Chris Smith to try and capitalize. A good example of how on the ragged edge these drivers are. Now Smith sticking to the low line, while Holland running a little bit higher here, getting right up against the wall at the start-finish line. So it's Jones, Holland, and still Smith battling for second. 3 different lines through turns 3 and 4, and they are catching up to Jacob Bradley, the race leader. Have whittled it down to a 1/4 of a second to the back bumper of that 50 machine. Holland shows in second, but just by a hair as Jones takes it back on the back stretch here at Iowa. A very brief back stretch. Drivers being very careful not to come together out of turn 4. You can see Robert Brobes in the background. Robert Brobes, another driver who took 4 fresh tires under that second caution. Watching intently, Holland still trying to work on Smith. Bradley and Jones first and second, hoping that battle stays behind them for about 29 more laps here at Iowa. And we are going to have another caution. I think it might be Johnny Rapp. Yes, it is. Bringing out the late race caution. Let's see what happened to Rapp in the 52. Looks like Rapp checks up a little bit to avoid getting in the back of Robert Brobes. I think that was Devin Jack who kind of helped him out a little bit there. That's going to be our 3rd caution of the night. Now keep an eye out. I'm looking for Johnny Rapp, who unfortunately was involved in that incident, as well as Brian Brobes, Devin Jack, McCoy, Fish. There's a bunch of drivers I think still have 4 sets of tires behind the wall here. Ryan Brooks, Devin Check, JJ McCoy, Mark Fish, Nick Serif, Ray Beeb, Chase Berry, all down pit road, as well as Johnny Rapp. Now keep an eye on those drivers, as it's going to be about 25, 24 laps left to go on the restart. I think they're going to come out on track with 4 fresh tires underneath them, and maybe have something for those top 10 drivers. Let's see how this shootout is going to go. It's going to be Bradley and Jones the front row, Smith and Holland your second row, Robert Brooks, Tony Caputo your third row. I would imagine everybody who came down pit road and used that last set of tires was hoping this thing was going to go out green till the end. Chase Berry looks like he might be coming back down pit road. Maybe trying to get some repairs done on that number 46 Toyota. Looks like it's going to be 24 laps left to go on the restart as we get them gridded back up double file. So it's going to be 10th place back. We want to keep an eye out on. Those are the drivers who had 1 set of tires left on that lap 97 pit stop under caution. I feel fairly confident saying at this point everybody's grabbed all the tires they can. Still 17 drivers on the lead lap, 22 still out on the track of the 24 that entered. Here we go, green flag racing once more. Now the top 7 drivers have about 20 laps on these set of tires. And we're gonna have a very quick caution. It looks like Evan Pienza involved in that one. Let's see if anybody else might have been. There's Pienza, the number 55 machine. Looks for the middle line, gets hooked. Looked like that was the 13, I believe, also involved in that one of Mark Fish. And we're going to reset that one. And a very quick caution. Let's see if we get them gridded back up double file. I don't believe there's a single file restart rule here. But let's try this once more as we get them gridded up. It'll be about 19 laps left to go on this restart. Evan Pienta down pit road for an extended stay. He's got some heavy damage on the 55 machine, so Pienta in trouble if he was hoping to walk away, holding on to the points lead after the opening 2 rounds. Jacob Bradley looking good here. He's going to be starting on pole. He's currently 5th in points. There we go. There's Rye Jones. He is 3rd in points. Moved up 6 spots last week. And he is currently ahead of both Evan Pienta and Brian Brobst, who are 1st and 2nd in the points. Brian Brobst back in 14th right now, the number 11 machine. Hard charger out on track is going to be Peter Stewart. Number 91 Chevrolet. He's up 14 spots, sitting in 7th. In 2 races, we have had 2 different winners. Rye Jones looking to be the first driver this season to get 2 wins to his name. He'd also be the first to make it back-to-back. But Bradley, Smith, Holland, Caputo, Robert Brobst, I think all have a good shot of making something happen here. Devin Jack starting 8th. He's going to be our most forward driver with the freshest tires underneath him. But at this point, is he going to have enough laps left to try and make something happen? It's going to be 18 to go on this restart as we get ready to put the safety car back down pit road. Here we go. what could be the final restart of the night with Jacob Bradley leading the field. Keep an eye out. We're going to look back on Devin Jack's 49 machine, trying to put those fresh tires to use underneath them as he's side by side with Robert Brobes in the battle for 6, but Brobes is going to make a pass on Tony Caputo's number 14 machine. So Devin Jack, Ray Beebe, 6th and 8th have, I think, the freshest tires towards the front of the field here. But that is a titan of, oh my goodness, they're sliding all around trying to make something happen. That is a lot of talent and ability ahead of Devin Jack there, 49, but he's making it happen, has worked up to 5th, side by side with Robert Brobes, the number 5 machine, just behind Chris Smith, Richard Holland, who are battling for 3rd. Nick Seraph goes off track. Hopefully won't bring out a caution here. I think it may, as Seraph is showing involved in some sort of incident. Devin Jack does not want this run to stall as he is making ground here. We hint at 3 wide action. Somebody got a little bit loose right behind. I think that may have been Caputo, possibly the number 14 machine. Jack side by side with Smith. That's going to be the battle for 4th. 15 laps left to go here at Iowa. Everybody knowing that there's not a lot of time left to try and make something happen. Jack still squeezed down the inside line. Willing to use up a little bit more rubber to help get these passes going. Dives it in deep against Holland. Not going to be able to slide out ahead of the 31. And Chris Smith, the number 28 machine, right there in the mix as well. Robert Brobes, the number 5, kind of watching and hunting and pecking for a line. That was Ray Beebe, the number 89, who got super loose across the start-finish line just a couple laps prior. Beebe also on some fairly fresh tires. Jack showing in 3rd. But it is tough going, making these passes stick, as everybody in the top 5, top 8 really kind of running nose to tail here. If you're out of line, tough to get back in it, as we're seeing Jack trying to get around Richard Holland and stay ahead of that 31 machine, but not able to slide up because Rye Jones is right there as well. Now Jones and Jack will go side by side, the battle for 2nd. Jack, a man on a mission here. We get ready to take it over. 11 laps left to go here at Iowa. Bradley still your race leader right now, showing Jack in 2nd, Jones in 3rd. Holland and Smith round out the top 5. There goes Jack. He's going to get clear of Jones, that number 7, putting those fresh tires to use. Does he have enough time to try and track down Bradley? 4/10 separating the top 2 drivers. And Jack is charging forward here. He's whittled it down to 1/4 of a second behind Jacob Bradley. Jack came into tonight 21st in points. Again, he finished 6th his opening round debut at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Bradley, though, also looking for his first win of the season, isn't going to make it easy on that number 49. Here we go, the battle for the lead. It's Bradley versus Jack. 8 laps left to go here at Iowa. Bradley's going to guard that fast line. Looks like he gained a couple of tenths there against Jack. You know, Jack is using up every ounce of tire and traction that he has underneath that number 49 Ford. But the number 50 Chevrolet of Bradley has been doing very good, staying on line, minimizing his tire wear, making Jack burn it up a little bit more right behind him. Now these two have about a 6/10 advantage over Rye Jones, who sits in 3rd. Jack taking a peek at the inside line through 1 and 2. Is going to get clear of the 50 coming out in the backstretch. It looks like it's going to be side by side. Bradley ahead by a 10th, so Jack not quite able to make that one stick. Trying everything he can. Another big send through 3 and 4, but Bradley's able to carry the corner speed. Jack has to lift to avoid getting into the side of the number 50, and that might allow Rye Jones a bit of a chance to crawl back towards the front. 5 laps left to go here at Iowa. We're trying to see, can Bradley fend off that number 49? Oh, it's going to be close. Jack running out of time to try and make a pass happen. I think if that 49 machine can clear Jacob Bradley, there's a good chance he can kind of get away and Bradley won't be able to remount a charge forward. Jack exploring a couple of different lines here, seeing what's going to be fastest. When is he going to take another shot at it? I would imagine it has to be now. He has to make an effort to give himself a little bit more time. He has to be very confident if he's going to wait till the very last second to make it happen. A big run from Devin Jack here. Is he going to hop out of line into 3 and 4? Is he going to wait till 1 and 2 next time by? Takes another look to the inside line. Trying to carry some speed. Jack all over the back bumper of Bradley. Here we go into 1 and 2. Not much time left. Can he get clear? Bradley staying right there with him side by side through 1 and 2. It's a drag race down the back stretch. Bradley able to pull another 10th. I think Bradley might be able to defend here. Still side by side through 3 and 4. Bradley carrying such good corner speed. And look at that, there's Ray Beebe and Rye Jones having a battle for third. The white flag is out here, round 3 at Iowa. Bradley and Jack have been putting on an absolute show for the battle for the lead as Jones and Beebe battling for that final podium spot. This is the last attempt we're going to see from from Jack. Bradley, though, able to carry a little bit more speed. Bradley, against all odds, defends, brings home the win. And it shows Ray Beebe getting second. And then we're going to wad up some perfectly good race trucks here. Let's see what happened to Beebe there. The final moments. Beebe way up high, Jones down low. Try and go for a high-low. Looks like he was. Contact between Rye Jones and Beebe. All the way across the line, but it's going to be Bradley, Jack, and Beebe burning it down here at Iowa. Well won race for Jacob Bradley. What a wild night. We're going to get these drivers up here to victory lane. And we're going to start things off with Mr. Ray Beebe, the number 89 machine. Ray, walk me through that final lap, man. That was elbows out and a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was some really awesome short track racing there. And, being on fresh tires had a little bit of an advantage. But, yeah, I mean, it was good racing, and we obviously were beating some doors, but we kept it straight.
Yeah, I mean, all the way across the line before we messed up the paint job on that 89 machine a little bit. Not to make fun of you too much, but also a solid black paint job. Do we have something wrong up here in the booth, or is that a new livery for tonight?
No, that's just what I got rocking tonight, so that way I can rock the decals for the league. So yeah, it's all good. We're all black today.
Well, Ray, it looked like a ton of fun out there. I mean, anything you wish you did differently coming into Iowa, or are you pretty pleased with how the cars shook themselves out?
No, I'm definitely pumped. Got caught up in a wreck sometime around the middle of the race, and ended up taking some strategy and figured that save my last set, and it ended up working out better for me. Went from last on the lead lap to a podium today, so pretty solid, I'd say.
Well, it looked like a ton of fun. Ray, before I let you go and unwind from this one, who do you want to give a shout to that helped make this third place possible for you?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Definitely wanted to thank my team, the Moose Gang. We have a great time and love dueling it out here on iRacing. Um, and otherwise, like thanks to the league, they've got an awesome program out here. It's a lot of fun every week, and definitely excited for next week. We'll go out there and get the Big Bean boys going, and go for it.
Well, hey, awesome. Looking forward to having you back up here. Congratulations on another great run. And again, glad to have you up here with such a great result.
Yep, thanks, James. I appreciate it, man.
No worries.
See ya.
That was Ray B bringing it home in third. Up next, we got Mr. Devin Jack, the number 49 machine. Devin, welcome to the party, and what a great run for you in that 49 machine.
I was doing my best trying to get by him on the inside, but this track's tough to pass at. And once the tires get even, no.
Yeah, it seemed like the tires kind of plateau after a while, and then, yeah, as you ran into, almost seemed even more difficult to make that inside line stick.
Oh, I had a line I was running for a while that worked, and I guess after a while it got rubbered up and it wasn't as good. I was trying to get my nose in front of Jacob, but he's as good as he is for a reason. He was doing his best to keep me down there and making sure I was not going to get the lead.
Well, Devin, definitely a lot of fun between you guys out on track. Now, it's your second race of the season, first time on the podium. What's more to come for that 49 machine? Obviously, you have the pace, and it seemed like the pit strategy was right on the money tonight as well.
Pit strategy was luck. I would have been screwed, but one of the late cautions worked out in my favor. I wasn't planning on running the full season, but I've had 2 good finishes, so I might stick it out and see how many of these I can get done.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck with us now, man, especially being up here on the box. So, Devin, a great run for you in that number 49 Ford F-150. You're getting some love from the fans tonight, but who else would you like to give a shout to that helped bring home this first podium for you?
Well, all the guys in Spark here, Jacob, Johnny. I just gotta throw a shout out to the Monday Night Late Model guys, just because that's one of the most fun leagues I've been a part of.
Well, awesome, Devin. Always a pleasure, man. Congratulations that first podium, and hopefully one of many more to come for you.
Thanks.
That was Devin Jack bringing it home in second. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Jacob Bradley. Welcome to the top spot. First win of the season, and man, you did not get a break in that one.
No, I didn't. I didn't think I was going to be able to hold them off there at the end. They had about 20 lap fresher tires of me. I just held the top, and I got to thank Devin for racing me clean. It was fun racing against him there at the end, and I hope we put on a good show.
Yeah, I mean, you guys absolutely did. And it seemed like we kind of saw you stick to your same line once the tires started to plateau and drop off a little bit. What was the difference running that bottom line that we saw Jack running compared to the mid to upper line that you and that 50 machine stayed on for majority of the run?
That bottom line, it could save tires. That's why I was running it before that caution came out, just in case a yellow did come. And that saved enough so that I could be able to run that top. It just had so much more momentum. And with the trucks around here, it's such a momentum-based race. And I was just able to beat him on the straightaways in that run off the corner.
Now, Jacob, when you took, I assume, your last set of tires on lap 78, saw the rest of the field come down pit road about 20 laps later under caution, were you thinking at that point that you still had any shot of winning this thing?
I thought it was very, very slim. I thought that there was just too much time for them to get back through us, and we got that restart caution, and I thought there was a chance then because the tires were going to be pretty cool, and I could run about what they were running for about the first 5, and then it was going to be a race, and it was just a matter of if I was going to be able to hold off whoever got there first.
Well, it was a ton of fun for me up here in the booth. I know it was a blast for you guys out on track, and Jacob, for the first time this season, you've got the privilege and the pleasure of the final send-offs of the night. Who do you want to give a shout to that helps put that number 50 machine on the top of the box?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates at Payday Racing. Can I have a better team to help me? And I want to thank everybody who's got me run this thing at Spark. It going to be a one-man operation. Johnny, Robert, Nathan, Dade, everybody is able to put this together and make this run. And I want to thank Randy especially for coming in as race control last minute for both. Really helped me out. I want to just thank all of the viewers watching at home. Thank you for tuning in.
Well, Jacob, always a pleasure, buddy. Hope to have you back up here a bunch throughout the year. And again, huge congratulations on that first win for you and the team.
Thank you.
That was Jacob Bradley bringing it home in the top spot here at Iowa. His first win of the season. 3 different rounds, 3 different winners. Jacob Bradley was accompanied by Devin Jack in second and Ray Beebe rounding out the top 3. On behalf of the Spark Truck Series, brought to you by the Spark Racing League, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for tuning in, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, supporting the broadcast, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.